They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. We got that work, work, work. 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 Just watch us cook. TSL, competitor shook. So look, come check us out on Saturday. See what the hype's about. We doper than you. DMVPG come through. Y'all not nicer than us. You got more views, but you still look sus. We got the OGs ride. No puss here, cause here we still slide. No hide. We got that work. No sponsor logo on the shirt. Go support Garvey and Gabby Mo. Can't work Katrina. Now watch us go, go, go. R.I.P. Chuck Brown. Gotta pay homage for that DMV sound. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work.
We roll them in and out, no doubt, without question. Talk to everybody from any fucking section, from PA to DC and PG. Look up in the sky, it's stars on the scene. Going state to state, you can't see the dream. We flooding up the hood, can't possibly know what I mean. Look, Vato, we coming for the cream, no Diddy. Setting up the table for the game, is you with me? Bangs on the beat anytime we step in it. No slack in the lyrics, we just go get it. Let it bang, we get it. Industry upended. The show goes on without us, don't feel it. Shooting up the city, no cap, it's the district. 80 makes it dot one mission. Crank the city, no cap, it's the district. 80 makes it dot one mission. Crank the city.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work.
Fuck them up, niggas. I ain't worried about the TSL shit going live. I know you heard about them really getting straight to the bands. You wanna argue about it, grown niggas crying for attention. Now let's talk about it when it come to doing this music. Y'all ain't fucking with me, really gatekeepers over here for the DMV. Really love the guests and the tops, they love the energy. Move low key in the streets, I'm like a centipede. And it's in the pounds of the tree, I'm like dispensary. Ain't no sponsor for none of the streets or the industry. Throw the shit on all year, I'm in Balenciaga. See by both my wife BS1, she like simplicity. Fuck these other niggas pretending they acting finicky. I done son a lot of you niggas, they like my mini me's with the turkey bags and the link. Or my fashion needs, switch the hustle up on these niggas. I'm in the botany, middle finger up in the sky. Fuck creating peace.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work, work. We got that work, work.
Yeah,
work.
Team Sack, playing in the air, baby. Let's go. Every Saturday, got dope content. No gossip over here, that's female shit. OG's blessings, score blunt and dank. That's DMV shit that'll make you think. We got topics on topics, best of the guests. Garvey, you the chosen one. With the flex, got credit work Katrina, style breaking necks. Y'all ain't know, it's Mace Man, O.80 J, and we on Rip Radio. Mixed with the trunk with no debate. We gon' rock the boat. Look, J too funny, Joe Jack with jokes. Gas hunters with the gas, man, y'all ready to smoke? Yeah, and you know what? Okay, we the best podcast out, no joke. Yeah.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us.
The curtain of my color is what you use to avoid facing the facts of our common history, the facts of American life. It is easy to call me a Negro but in fact I'm a man like you. This country is mine too. I paid as much for it as you. White means that you're a European still. And black means I'm African. And we both know, we've both been here too long. You can't go back to Ireland or Poland or England, and I can't go back to Africa. But we will live here together, or we'll die here together. It is not I am telling you. Time is telling you. You will listen or you will perish.
Cobra Commander with the slander from the home of the land of the so-called free. The enemy is propaganda. Know some Billboard rappers change figured in the moon landing. My acapella left the tune stranded. Fried chicken and watermelon, drug selling. I only play to win. Let's make America great again. They put me in the mud and I made a palace. These niggas whitewash like raisins and potato salad. These double the price and raise the value. Pump up the volume and let the cheap seats feel the frequency. Peak the acoustics, something like 31 bars. It's like 2 clips with 1 shot left. Now what it look like, jewelry shopping at St. Thomas. I'm fresh out the league, title of the occupation was boss ballin'. I'm still in the light, blue strips, another news clip, dollar bills getting to us, my bill of rights.
The universe is energy. Peep the rap, tap in, walk with me. This doper than Bobby and Whitney. And baking soda got the neighborhood licky licky. You have any idea how dope that is? Hanging in Mississippi, out on the porch, you thinking they about to get me. It's all love, ain't having no issues with me. Ducking 50, the law's dirty and shifty. I'm not the 147, wanna draft your son to fight for him. Uniform, automatic gun, right to core him, keep him snoring. Yona, send him off the boot camp in the morning. They put him in a chopper, using the chopper to chop ya. A copper will pop ya, swim with the fishes, shoot tilapia. The Babylon's a mafia, freedom will cost ya. Get them boys back up off ya, cause this is fight music. Only the righteous will choose. They just wanna see us lose. They wanna see us lose. They want the power to abuse. Only the righteous will choose. That's why we make 5 music. We make 5 music.
Welcome. We are back here again, right? Thank you to everyone joining me here on TSL, where we are the voice of the entire DMV, right? Thank you to the good Trump Radio for having me here and us here again for another one. I have a special one for you today, right? This is your host, your pilot, the dude Ado, right? Okay. I'm not even gonna waste a whole lot of time, right? So before we bring our guest on, we do have a special guest here joining us here today, and I can't wait to hear his story. He's very interesting, dope artist, and this was for 2026. I told you for 2026, what I will be doing more is I will be interviewing artists outside of the DMV, right? Because not only am I the voice of DMV underground hip hop, right? I'm trying to be the voice of independent artists worldwide, right? That's what I'm trying to do here. So I am trying to exchange value for value. We here in the DMV, we get to go to any part of the world. We get to exchange ideas, values, and all that good stuff. So that is my goal for 2026. So, okay. All right. This is episode 108. 1/38 here on Rip Radio, right? Okay. So let's do it, good Trump. Let's get it started. Let's do it. There you go. How you doing, sir?
I'm here, man. I'm chilling. How you?
I am good. I've been waiting for this ever since I started researching you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely interested. So let's get this plane in the air. So please introduce yourself to the family, sir.
What's going on, family? I'm Errol Eats Everything. I am down with Uplift Company, and I'm just glad to be here, man. And really excited for what's about to go down. Good interview, good energy, and yeah.
Okay, all right. So I don't even know where to start. I have a lot, Okay, so let's start from the basics. What part of the world are you from, or do you claim?
So I'm born in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in many places, though. I'm kind of like a nomad. I've lived in Ontario or Toronto. I've lived in Alberta, in the States, Vegas, New York, and Texas. But I the longest stretch I've ever had is in New York City. So, I'm here now. That's where I am. This is my home. This is where my children are born.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So, the name is interesting, right? The name is so.
All right.
Where did the name come from?
There used to be back in the day a commercial, a Chex commercial. That's Mikey.
That's a fact,
right? That Mikey commercial.
That's a fact.
So a light bulb just went off in my head when I saw that one day. I was like, oh, and I just ran with it. I learned to get out of my way, and when I get an idea, just run with it, and that's what happened. Nothing too deep, but it's like an iconic commercial that led to that thought, And I told my homeboy, it's like, yo, Clarence Joe, I think I'm going to rock this. And he was like, man, that name is more you than anything I've ever heard, And I just kind of ran with it, because I felt like, I just felt like it was catchy, and it's always a question people ask me all the time. So I was like, this is what I need, I just ran with it.
It's dope because for branding purposes, right?
Correct.
That is a question majority of people should ask. I don't know why everybody would ask. Let's just say majority of people should ask that, because it's not a regular name. It's not one of those. No. So it's a long situation at that.
I really crave knowledge, and I have an insatiable appetite for knowledge. So it's kind of like a metaphor for that. And if you know me, my belly runs me. You know what I'm saying? I like to eat and stuff. It's just like the perfect name for my personality. I
agree. Now, because when I heard it, I didn't think that. I didn't go back that far. But I was just wondering. Maybe he was a young kid, little kid that would eat everything. I mean, I didn't think Mikey, like the Chex. But
yeah.
Okay, I see it. Right. Okay. So, all right. So, who did you hear that made you want to rap?
KRS.
Oof.
Was my main whoa moment. When him and Just Ice did Suicide, that was huge for me. That was whoa. One of my very first shows ever was opening up for Ice-T, but really KRS and Chuck D were the reason, huge influences on me when I was young,
Wow.
And I would say Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, those are the back and forth 1 and 2 for most people back in the day. And so they're the main person I would say is probably KRS and Chuck.
Okay. Was you in New York at that time?
No, I was not in New York at that time. Okay. I was up north at that time.
Okay. How old were you when you started to rap?
First rhyme was when I was 12. Kid Fresh. Yes, I'm the best. Told the other ones I am the ultimate test. And then first show was maybe when I was 16 or 17. And so, yeah, I've been doing it my whole life. I just happened to be in a great situation where I had the perfect influences around me. The people around me were real hip hop heads and they fed me real hip hop. And I kind of really never had whackness given to me. And so yeah, I just had to, the truth is I had great influences around me.
What do you remember about the first time using the studio recording? What do you remember about that?
Well, I'll tell you this. My first song I produced. I started producing first. And then I rhymed on my productions first. So I've always had my own studio out the gate. I used to have a Session 8. But the first real studio that I used, it was a guy named Billy was my engineer. He's the only one who really knew how to use the gear at the time, you know. And you know, I hadn't found myself yet. I was still finding myself, but it was my first real experience in a studio where I can take something home and that was better quality than everything else type of thing. That was monumental for me as well. Like real good memories. Taught me how to sharpen my skills a bit on my own, with, you know, engineering myself. I still to this day I very rarely go into a real studio. I just engineer myself. I've always had gear.
So that's interesting. So let's back up. So who, production wise, who sparked that interest for you?
Local people. There's a guy, King the MC, and Nex the Vandal, and a guy named Chris Group.
Local where?
Like Canada.
Okay.
In Western Canada at the time. Those are like, I saw them making their music on the EPS 16, and then eventually ASR 10s and stuff like that. And when I saw that, it was crazy. It was like I watched him make a beat that ended up getting him in Source back in the day. And so it was just like mind blowing to watch the process, and it kind of like grew from there. So that was kind of like a spark and earlier on. But a person, yeah, but then Nex was his name. Kizza is what I called him. He was a person that kind of refined my spitting. And he was the one who'd be like, nah, you have to be able to hear everything. Think KRS. That's why it was such an influence to me, you know?
Okay. So let's go back to the one you said, the first one. You said that was end up in Source, right?
Yeah, King the MC.
So that night, what do you remember about that specific night?
I remember going down to his basement, and him and Chris Groove were there, and they had an EPS, and I remember them digging, and I remember just a particular section of a break beat. Like I remember the break beat, and then I remember a particular section of like electronic music, like maybe
house music or that little.
No, it was just like really electronic music that we wouldn't even listen to, but they were digging. And then he found like a bar, and then he changed the pitch of that bar on the EPS, and maybe 2 bars, and then he just looped that on the breakbeat, and it was like mind blowing to me, like because it was so dope, you know. And then I was watching put the bass line in. It was a pretty quick process, and then and then that ended up on a compilation, and then he also. I just remember he mailed it out to magazines and stuff like that, and he ended up in the Source from mailing it out from his crib.
So when you left that night, or whenever you left, did you know that something was special about that night?
In a way, yeah. It totally influenced me. Like it still influences me to this day. I still spit, right? And so I knew I saw something that was uncanny, like, oh, this is crazy. And I had never been introduced to that before. I just remember we used to go to a school called La Pearl on Friday nights and play ball. And then we would hook, boom boxes together, man. and they were playing. I remember "Suicide." It's a suicide. Bye bye. And then and we were just booming and then play ball. And so that's where I was really introduced to it and stuff like that. And you know, at the time, like, just it was what I knew. That's all I knew. That's literally my introduction to it. This is what I knew. I just happened to have the dopest intro to hip hop, period. Like, it could have been Milli Vanilli, but these guys were the ones that were just digging real stuff at the time. And it was in the day, back in the day, it was pre-internet, man. So you couldn't really, you had to really dig and search for mixtapes, and you had to theme for it. And that's kind of like where it came from for me.
Okay. So when, do you remember when the production side and the artist side merged? Like, do you remember when
I remember, well, they produced their own beat and he spit on that beat that he did that day. So right away, that's what I knew. So I thought that's all I knew is, okay, you make a beat and then you spit on your beat. So I produced myself out the gate, because what was happening is I had a better work ethic than them at the time. And, you know, I was relying on them initially, and it wasn't going fast enough for me. So I ended up scraping together money and buying my own equipment. And my dad had the illest record collection of all, thousands of records in the basement. And so I'd always be in the basement playing his music. I remember getting the original press of Pass the Peas and playing it on his stereo, and I could play it as loud as I wanted to in the basement. And that's one of the things that they never gave pushback on. They never gave me pushback about girlfriends or music. And I was always in that basement bumping my dad's record collection. So when I got my own equipment, I didn't have to dig. Oh, I mean, digging for me was going down to the basement and trying a new record. And so I remember, like, one of the first loops I did was the same one as Worst Comes to Worst, My Feelings Come First. That was the very first, one of the very first songs, and I call it Sometimes I Just Don't Care. And I spit on my own production. And I'll never forget that there's this guy locally named Sleepy, and I recorded some of my beats, and then I went to where he was working at a record store, and I'm like, hey man, check this out. You know, I want to do a song with you. And I was like insecure about it or whatever, and I left and I drove home. And when I got into the door, as I put my foot in the door, he called and he's like, what am I hearing? You know, like, I didn't know it was dope like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, he couldn't believe what he was hearing. And then it just went on, and we just recorded and recorded and recorded.
Okay, so that's perfect. You just alley-oop the perfect to the next question. I was going to ask you, well, I still can ask you, when did you know you were dope as an artist? Was it that time?
That was one of the things that surprised me. I was like, what? I always surprised myself over and over again, where I'm like a little insecure about what I was doing, but then the feedback would be like, yo, all the time, you know? Gotcha. And so, but the truth is, locally, nobody knew how to make it. And it was crabs in a bucket. So you would never really get your props from local people. You know what I'm saying? Except for very few people who were secure with themselves would be like, hey man, hey, you know. But I knew I had something. I knew that lyrically I was okay. I knew I had something. And it was kind of like a battle amongst other people in the city. You know, we had our beefs based on I'm doper than you type of thing. And yeah, it was just like, it was crabs in a bucket. However, it was just part of the come up, man. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was dope when I left the city, when I left and went to other places, and people were like, whoa, you know, because I had put in so much work. We'd have special days of the week where we could go to specific bars and rhyme. You know what I'm saying? And I had done that so much, I had no fear of being in front of people anymore and all that stuff. And then the real moment where I realized, whoa, was I moved to Las Vegas. And then I met Clarence Joe and Furious Evans. And Furious Evans, you know, produces all my music. And when I moved to Las Vegas and I met those two, they were in a group called The Chapter. And then I met C in the back of this record store that Cool DJ EQ owned. and he handed me a CD, but he was real cocky. I remember. I was like, this dude is so cocky. And then he gave me the CD, and I was like thinking in my head, man, you better be nice, because I'm going to actually tell you if this is whack or not in my head, you know? And I put it in my car. I remember I put it in, and it was phenomenal. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then that led me to meeting them guys. And then I ended up being part of the chapter. And then I formed a brotherhood that still exists to this day. And so, so Furious was an animal back then, and he's, to me, the best at period. Like, nobody's messing with that dude. He's the most gifted person I've almost ever come across musically.
Okay, so before you moved to Vegas, you were living where?
Toronto at the time, and then I moved. I was in Toronto, and then I had moved back to Western Canada, and then I moved to Vegas.
Okay, so right there. Why did you go to Vegas?
Got in trouble.
Okay. But Vegas, did you have family there? Do you know somebody?
Yeah, I had family there.
Okay.
And so that was it. You know, I didn't know anything about Vegas. Like, I didn't know what to expect, and I got there, and then that was it.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, got you. Okay, all right. Now, so when it comes to your creating process on the rapping side, the writing side, right? What does that look like? Are you see you kind of got a cheat code because you're a producer as well. So what does your writing process look like? Do you already have the beat? Do you have the lyrics? Then you create the beat around the lyrics? Like, what do you do specifically?
I get the beats that I want. Like, so Furious sends me beats all the time, right? And then I take the ones that resonate with me and I put them in a folder. And I don't try to take too many at a time. And I listen, and I just put those on repeat. And I listen to them, and ideas come, you know? And basically I'll take a beat, and then I don't really write anymore. Like something with me specifically that I learned is something gets lost in translation from when I write it down to the mic. It doesn't come out like initially. It came to me. And so I realized that instead of trying to do it over and over again to get it perfect, I just got rid of that step and I just spit. I kind of like extraneously on the subject, like what comes to me, a vibe, and I spit. And then, but I'm not like Jigga where I could do 16 bars flawlessly off the top, like, or Black Thought or something like that. I'll do a few bars and then
punch in,
and then punch, and then do another few bars, listen, and then I'll listen to it for a while, and then I'll extract it. And you know, typically the process is I'll listen to it, and I'll be like, "This is whack, this part," you know, and it's kind of like a painting. Fix this, and then I'll send it to Clarence Joe or my homeboy Black Cat, either one of those two, and I'll be like, sometimes Dark Malone as well. I have a very tight circle of people that I trust, and then they'll be like Flames or, "Hey man, you know, I could have heard this from 1,000 other MCs. I don't like this." That doesn't happen too often, but they'll be like, "This is dope," and if I get the stamp of approval, I just move on. Like the way I record now, it comes to me at such a pace that I could just like record a song in like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, very rarely does a song take me a long time. It's because it's such I have to feel it in my soul. If I feel it from my soul, it like pours out of me. And that only happened when I found my voice. You know, when I found, there's a story behind that, but when I found my voice, it's the easiest thing in the world. Prior to finding my voice, it was like pulling hair to get the bars perfect. When I found my voice, I could just, like the songs on Errol Eats Everything album, majority of them did not take me long. I could do 3 songs in a day if I wanted.
Okay. All right. So let's stay right there. How, like, because I'm thinking, because your music, your lyrics, you got a lot of substance in there. So are you freestyling those substances? Like how are you doing it?
I don't pretty much, because the truth is, right, I found John Henrik Clarke. It was a spark to everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
I found him and I was like, what is this? You know, I remember sending it in our little group chat, like, listen to this. And they were like, man, this is like your spiritual leader. You know what I'm saying? Because of the conversations we've had over the years. And then that led me down a rabbit hole. And then the next person was like Sheikh Anta Diop. And then the next person after that was like Yosef Ben Yakinen. And then Ivan Van Sertima. And then like it was just like a rabbit hole that I went down that was inspirational to me. And so at that moment in time, that was a substance that I was like really vibrating with. And so it was like it just came out. And so people always wonder, like, mind, how did you pen mind? It was like literally my process that I just told you is literally that. And phonetics, right? So you want some things to match phonetically, and then you think, okay, what could it be? And that's what came. And it's not like it wasn't like highly researched or anything like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now I can see for artists who just have random bars, it sounds like, you know, you just put random bars in a song, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I get when I hear you. Like, that's not what I get when I hear you, because like you said, all them master teachers that you said that it's a small percentage who even know any of those people you just said, right? And
yeah, I would agree with that. The thing is, right, I feel like I'm not spitting my original thoughts. I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of master teachers and echoing their sentiment. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I'm a genius with this. It's like the answers are already there, right? And I feel like I'm just echoing the sentiment of what they're trying to say. And it just it vibrates and resonated with me so much. It's just like, boom, this is what you're getting.
See, but you have to understand, coming from you, I can understand why you feel that way, right? But Flip, looking at you, right, and hearing it, that is no different than if we was to hear, let's say, Mos Def, or you know what I'm saying, or Talib Kweli, and you know what I'm saying. It's different because the substance that you're putting in it, like, that's not normal, that's not regular. So for it's
regular
different.
To me, it's just me. You know what I'm saying?
And not only are you doing something different by putting substance in it, you're kind of doing it, I won't say Jay-Z style, but closer than Jay-Z style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're freestyling maybe 4-6 bars. You're probably punching at it, but you're freestyling like a
yeah. It's just like what cadence fits this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is though, right? Like, I've tried. Like, it's not overnight. It evolved, right? I did do the pen game, but then, like I said, things get lost in translation, and then eventually you start slow, and then eventually you pick up pace because you get more confident in that particular process. And so now that's all I know. So there's pros and cons to it, though. The cons are this: I recorded 17 joints in like 6 weeks. I know very few of them by heart. Yeah. I literally have to research. I really have to, when it's showtime, I have to rehearse probably for a while, like a week, to get my bars down properly. I'm like, oh, like the other day I just started having to type them out because, you know, even when there is a lot of administration behind music. And so even when you have to come with your videos and lyric videos, you got to put that down. I literally have to go through and listen to them again and type them out because I'll know some of it, but oh yeah, okay. The details all up in the minutiae pages of a book. Taught me about Kemet, you know, the face of Africa, perfect without a blemish. The common man, you know, I literally have to go and rehash it and do it again because it's so. The beauty of it is it goes down beautifully, but the retention of it, you're sacrificing the retention of that when it's time. So I used to know 1,000 verses by heart because you write it down, you're scribing it over and over, and you're painfully doing it. And I got rid of that pain for my process. And then there's pros and cons to that, right?
And that's how you know right there that what you're doing is not normal. Because
I'm channeling, man. I'm just channeling what's given to me.
As a fact. So on the flip side, is when you're trying to perform that, now you're trying to remember what you said, but it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the difficult part right there. I'm letting you know, like, that is difficult because you're relearning what came out naturally.
Yeah.
And you're trying to perform it. Like,
correct. I know the flows because the beat dictates that to me, right? And I knew, you know, and I just got to relearn. It doesn't take too long to relearn, to tell you the truth. You just got to go through it a few times. But, you know, I haven't been doing a lot of shows because people that I trust have told me, nah, build your audience first and then do your shows to make your shows worthwhile. You know what I'm saying?
And you can always do, like, when COVID was here, like, you know, you can do those your own shows, your own, you know, your own recordings, and like it's just a lot of things you can do now that that you can make money from.
Correct.
You know, as an indie
artist, that right?
Fact, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So another thing that matches, like, we got your name. The name matches, right? We got the name. I don't know how you did it so perfect on the other side. How did you match that logo of the kid? Like, how did that happen?
ChatGPT took me about 20 prompts, 20 tries, change this, because initially I wasn't going to show my face. I was just doing the music and I didn't have any desire to be in front of the camera. So I went to ChatGPT and I typed it, and then I changed a few things. Like, there's various iterations in there. It took me about 15, 20 tries. And I was like, boom, this is it. And really what it is like, I always wanted a big fat herringbone chain. I always wanted a medallion. I always wanted gold fronts. I don't want that anymore, you know, but it was the memories of Kizza, King, all that time and that whole era, what we always wanted. We always wanted gold teeth and stuff like that. And it kind of just made what I always wanted to be when I was a little, you know, this little chubby kid like that. And then I just ran with it and I learned to get out of my way. This is dope, go. And then what happened is that led to a finished product, you know what I'm saying? And then Furious put it together. We had all these songs, and really it was 3 EPs initially. And then we saw a Instagram post from Jazzy Jeff, and it said "Die Empty," and it's saying that don't die with any songs, say die empty. And that was kind of like a moment between Furious and myself. And then we put all the 3 individual EPs that he made together and became the album. So there was not a single extra song that we had. We just put what I recorded together and put it out. So, and that was that. It was like the whole process was divine. That's because it just came together. It was cohesive. It was just channeled, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I put a mega amount of thought behind it. And I'm trying not to do that whole overthinking thing, because I feel like the next project is even better already, you know? And I'm probably like 30 songs deep on the next project. It's called Blame Furious Evans. We're only going to do 4 projects, and this is number 2. And I feel like because of our process, I'm not abandoning it, especially now after we're getting the feedback we always wanted. People are like, the buzz is crazy compared to what we know. You know what I'm saying? And things are picking up pace. And so that's what it is. I basically followed my gut, and it manifested what I always wanted by by not compromising myself and doing what I wanted. I literally only made music I wanted to hear for the project. That was it. I don't care about what was going on. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make what I like. And I was kind of selfish. I didn't care what other people liked. And it resulted in what's going on. And then I'm having conversations with people I always want to have conversations with. People like Hall of Famers and stuff like that are bigging me up. And it's just like the craziest thing, you know? It's bananas what manifested from that. And what I was going to tell you is I sat on the project for 2 years. I finished it and I lost confidence. Because I was like, what are you doing? Like, stop playing yourself, you know? And then I uploaded it one day when I was in a different frame of mind. And then I forgot I uploaded it, because the next day after I uploaded it, I'm like, don't be dumb. Doubt kicked in again. I was going to take it down. And I got distracted.
Why?
Because I felt I was going through stuff in life, man. And I felt like I had dedicated so much time to this craft. And I felt like it wasn't happening before. I didn't find my voice before. and I dedicated so much time
and money
and effort. And I got to tour, I got to do this, I got to do that, but it wasn't manifesting. I didn't achieve my goal.
What was your
shit to be the next Lil Wayne? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be a rap, you know, I wanted to be Mos Def, I wanted to be Quan Lee, I wanted to be respected and all that stuff, and it wasn't manifesting like I wanted. And then I was just like, man, and then I walked away for a while, and then life kicked in, and I realized that for the first time ever, I didn't have a passion. And then I tried doing this, that, and I tried doing many things, and the only thing that could really fill the void was doing many different things. And then eventually I got called back, and which is Fury started sending me music, and then I just one day I was like, you know what? I'm in the position I always wanted to be in. It's 2:00 in the afternoon and I'm at home. I can record anything I want to do right now. This is always what I wanted to do. This was my excuse before. My job was taken away from my creativity or this or that. Now I'm self-employed. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I can do whatever I want to. And then he sent me a beat and I recorded it that day. And that was Arrow Eats Everything, the song. And we were like, oh, this is dope. Did another one. This is dope. Did another one. And then Furious had a heart attack. And then he dealt with that. But when he came back from that, it was like 50 Cent getting shot 9 times. What are you afraid of? I already had to face the fact that I may not wake up from this operating table. You know what I'm saying? And then he came back with a work ethic that was unparalleled. And then that's when I tapped in, because I felt like we had a divine mission at that point in time, to make some fight music. And then 6 weeks, and then recorded those 17 joints. And then after I recorded it, I kind of sat on it because I was like, I sat on it because of confidence, and I also sat on it because before I would rush and put things out. And I was like, good music doesn't age. And I'm not putting this out until I learn how to do this properly. I'm going to put it out when I have a proper vehicle to put it out. And then a couple of years later, I was in a different frame of mind, uploaded it to a DSP. And then the next thing I know, I forgot about it because I wanted to take it down. I got the email one Sunday morning when I was on vacation. You're live. I was like, oh, I forgot to take it down. And then I went on my Facebook and I thought about it for a second. I was like, man, just let it ride. I went on Facebook and I put a heartfelt message. Hey, man, like, most of you have known me a long time, and I put this heartfelt message. I still rap. Here, I'm probably gonna take it down in an hour, but here. And then I got on the plane, and when I landed home off the plane, it was shared hundreds of times. Never had a reaction like that before. And then I got a call, and then they said, "Hey, can you take it down?" I was like, "What?" And then they said, like, we want to put it out in Black History Month. And then they ended up putting it out in Black History Month. But then, people started reaching out. Like, the very first label to reach out was, I don't want to name drop because I feel like a sucker doing that stuff. So the very first label to reach out was like the ultimate scenario ever. Like, I was like, I can't believe that I'm speaking to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And then, unbelievable scenarios, and they were reaching out and putting feelers out there, and I just, like, because of the situation I was in, I kind of didn't need help. Like, I didn't need their little predatory loan or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just put it out, and then the next thing I know, it kind of like picked up pace, and then really before that, I would just push music, and then go into the next thing and the next thing, and And then this was the first project that I just kind of like pushed. And it's been almost a year. Sorry, that's my son. It's been almost a year, and the remix project is about to drop. But maybe 3 months ago, it got crazy velocity, and it started picking up, and a lot of followers and a lot of people reaching out. And I just started noticing, like, even more people that you would die to talk to started reaching out. And it just, a tipping point happened, and it's been kind of crazy, I'm speaking to people, having scenarios and speaking to people that I always wanted to speak to, and it's it's just happened based on following my gut and putting it out. And with this, what I'm telling you, like it's just like the craziest shit like ever. I don't know if I can curse. Can I curse on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, and it was just like a crazy scenario like that. So it was, hey, I'm on an interview, I can't talk to you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Sorry for ranting, man. Going on.
No, you good. No, that's perfect. Like, because you answered a lot of questions that I had already. So you good. But I do want to go back to I know you focus on the production and you also focused on the being an artist, right? So that's difficult, right? But I don't know if you really understand what you did, right? What you did was you accidentally stumbled into an oil field when you created the
Errol Eats Everything.
The cartoon, the little baby.
Oh. Yeah. The IP is what I didn't realize was going to happen from that, because that is what drew a lot of interest, because they saw the potential of a created like a universe, and animation, and so people, that is really
that's $1 billion. That's $1 billion because that's books. That's a lot of things that, you know what I'm saying, that has nothing to do with music.
Merchandise, books, animation, everything.
Merch, like you just got younger.
Correct.
Like you just got younger.
So the feedback is, a lot of people will say, hey man, you're bringing back families. I'm like, what? Because I watch this with my kids. I watch your things with my kids and your clips and stuff. I'm like, whoa, and so it made me see the potential of what was happening. And it was only done from a space of, I didn't want to show my face. That's all. The only reason was there. So you're right. I kind of stumbled. I stepped in shit, as they call it in the sales. Like I just stumbled across something that was massive potential, and then people see it, and it wasn't like this preconceived mastermind idea. I look like a mastermind, but this, I'm just telling you the truth. This is what happened, and then it resulted in what it resulted in.
But that's how you write your music. You write your music like that, like, you know what I'm saying. You got you freestyle substance. I've never heard of it. It's very difficult to do because to have.
Jigga freestyles his substance. This is just street stuff, really.
True. But he's freestyling nigga shit, right? Nigga shit is normal. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to think to do nigga shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But to be on some conscious like, that's different, because you got to know the history. Like, it just takes more steps. Like that.
Yeah, I think that, and it also takes more. What's the word I'm looking for? You have experiences. So I travel the world a lot. Like I went to Africa, this and that, based because of my personal knowledge, and it's given me even more substance to write about and stuff like that. So you have to have experience, and you have to have the substance. And the truth is too, I read a lot, but I also YouTube the actual order. It's different when you hear it come out of their mouth and the exact annotations in their voice, and you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I enjoy it. So it's like, it's just, in essence, me. It's my real voice. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can put it.
I understand it, because we have a lot in common, because that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? I like all those guys you named, and you go into Black Panthers, and all, like, that's Malcolm X. That's my lane. Now, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, like just like you said, like once you spark it, and it like once you open that bottle, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have. I'm sorry, man. My vocab is slipping right now because I'm on the spot. But you kind of have. Once you are made aware of the circumstances, and once you attain the knowledge, it's on you to sustain that. You can't take a step backwards after you've achieved that level of awareness. It's on you to sustain that level of awareness. And it's like, if it's sincere with you, you won't take a step backwards. It's only forward. It's only deeper into that rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Because that first that first interaction is like a high. It's like a high.
Yes, it's unbelievable, man. It's like, what is going on here? Like,
fact. That's a fact. Like, because you're using a part of your brain that you really, when you get to a certain age, you think you know most things, right? Especially history.
Yeah.
And then you get to the age, and once you start learning that, you be like,
you have to unlearn. It makes you unlearn the nonsense that you've learned. And you're like, oh, I've been compromised. You know what I'm saying?
That's a process. So unlearn is a process.
And then you learn that with conversations with other people, like, oh, so if I actually put you on right now, I will rock your whole foundation, and you're not ready to actually change your life. So this sometimes it's a waste of time conversation with somebody else, because you know that they're so entrenched in what they believe already, they would have to change who they are and their whole belief system because of the newly attained knowledge. And so, it's a balance, man. It's like you can't just go and shine your light on people, but I can do it in my music. And the analogy I use is like American History X. Homeboy in American History X got into a predicament on the streets that put him in prison. When he got to prison, he took his shirt off and he had a crazy, I think, swastika or whatever on his back, right? Just for that aspect of the movie. And that attracted his tribe in prison, right? So it's a crazy analogy, I know, but I feel like I put my vibration out there and I put the voice out there, and I attracted my tribe, somebody like yourself that is knowledgeable of the individuals that I speak of. You understand what I'm saying? So I attracted the exact people I'd want to have a conversation with on the subject matter.
Okay, so let's stay right there. I'm kind of curious of what you would say, but I will tell you mine first. What started the process to me opening that door? I'm gonna tell you what started the process. I stopped watching TV.
I think that I agree with that to an extent. However, what I've noticed is upon attaining a little bit of knowledge, I'll say a little bit, right? Because there's people who know an unbelievable amount.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watch it, I watch things through a different lens now. And I see through a lot of things. And it makes me realize the technology that exists. And
Absolutely.
so because of that, I feel an obligation to get to the bottom of what's going on. And I kind of realize now over the time what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like there's a sinister agenda. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a fact.
And so I understand when you say you stop watching TV, because for me, I kind of stopped my social media a lot. I used to be all over that, and it made me realize, what am I doing? Look, I've been sitting here for 45 minutes flipping my thumb like this, looking for some type of affirmation from people I could care less about what they have to think. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand that. But then I'm a technologist, really. That's where my livelihood is, what it was for years. And it made me realize, though, you could shape what it is that you see by adjusting your algorithm to only give you knowledge. But a lot of people do not take the steps to, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see this anymore, and suppress the nonsense. So you're only being fed. But then that in itself can result in an echo chamber where you're not really learning and seeing the opposing views. You're just reinforcing what it is that you know. And that is the same thing that these weirdos do that are not in alignment with your existence as a human. They have this echo chamber of people telling them nonsense, and they don't have a vast enough knowledge to see through what's going on. And it also made me realize there's a lot of foolish people out there, and they want stupid people. Because once you attain a certain level of knowledge, you realize, like, even so, I speak a lot about blackness and that, but the truth is, race is not even real. It's a construct made by European folks. If you go to old dictionaries, there's not even a definition, right? And by you not watching TV, you're not inundated with this construct and nonsense that they're putting up. They're manipulating your views and manipulating how you feel and your emotions and stuff. So I totally get it. But the technologist in me tries to shape what it is that comes in my mind, shape what it is that comes in my feed.
I'm glad you went in this direction because I wasn't even thinking this, but I'm glad you said that. So Nipsey Hussle, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about when it comes to what he was trying to do with the smart store and the merch and all that technology on that side? Like, what do you think about that?
I'm not really privy to the smart store thing. What are you talking about?
That is, he had like his merch. He put the QR code to the merch, so then cut the middleman out. So when you do scan it, you get exclusive video. Maybe you might interview, but you have to buy the merch to get it. I think it's brilliant because it cuts the middleman out and it's one of one.
I think that's a remarkable. I didn't know to the extent that he did that, but that makes a lot of sense. I do love the entrepreneurial spirit that he showed. I do love that he sold his music for $100.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did a lot of online marketing, and what people don't realize is that you can get 100 sales of $1 each, or you can market it and only sell $100 things and make 2 sales that month and equal more than what you would have made with those individual sales. And so I think that he used that same concept with what it is that he was doing. I thought that was brilliant. I'm not mad at his entrepreneurial like endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
I think that smart thing is smart. I think the QR code thing is smart. I think that's really smart, as a matter of fact. And so I see why he's revered. I think that I'm in alignment with what he was doing, because I'm kind of like, I don't talk about it a lot because I feel like once you actually in that lane, you realize that being an entrepreneur is a difficult thing. And when it does work out, you still realize how fragile everything is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about some music. Round and Round. Let's talk about Round and Round. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what you was doing or where you was at when that concept or that idea sparked? Like, do you remember where you was at
when I did Round and Round? Which one? Which version? The original version?
The original version.
Yeah, I was just I typically I moved now, but I used to have my setup at my desk, and I want to say it was one of the last songs recorded, and Furious was not even going to put it on the album. And like it seemed to me like it was a forgotten song. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, hey man, this song, because it used to bother him that it was only one verse. It used to, like he's like, you gonna put another verse? And I'm like, nah, and I stuck to my guns, And
why one verse?
Because I feel like what is missing is everybody's formulaic. 3/16, this and that. And if you actually go through my songs, you'll see that verses are different lengths. Sometimes it's one verse, sometimes it's 2 verses. Very few songs have 3 verses. I feel like you have to have. I go with what's given, what's channeled to me, and I don't try to force it. I have some songs that have a 12-bar verse, a 16-bar verse, and a 20-bar verse. I said what I said has different length verses on all 3 verses. I just, because I feel like it lends to a more unsuspecting. It's just more of a surprise. It's just not formulaic. And like I said, I don't put too much thought into it. And I feel like I give the song what it needs and what my body tells it needs at that time. And so I was at my desk. It was just, I didn't know where the song was going to go. And I remember that opening and I play a lot with the umbling, dumbling, and I'm, you'll notice I have like the beat dictates the flow to me. And that was what was coming out. And then that kind of played on that. and that's what came to me. And it's like, it's not a rhyme or reason as to, it's not formulaic. But it's like that particular song came across poetic to me. And then the other thing is, he had these old, dirty, dusty horns, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's just what came to me, you know. And of all the songs, that's the one that set it off for us. We put a few singles out, and then Round and Round is what was like, and that almost, I had to tell him, hey, this song, you know, and put it on the album. And that's what, and it's towards the end of the album, that's what's weird, you know. And yeah, I do remember when I made that song, and I didn't know, because of my method of recording, I didn't know where I was going when I started. And it just like meandered and ended up at where it was.
Are you an artist that do hook first? Are you the verse first? Like how do you
sometimes I've done the hook first on a few songs, but typically I would say 50% of the time.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. I have to just go with what I go with. With my method of creativity, it's just like what comes out, and I try not to get in my way, and then I'll deal with what has to come out after that. You know what I'm saying? So if the hook comes, it comes. If it doesn't, I spit the verse, and then the hook eventually comes. It's like I just go and I get out of my way. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
And getting out your way means you just let whatever happens.
It happens. Whatever happens. And if the hook comes first, it comes. Like I said what I said, I spit the bars first, and I was like, oh, and I said what I said came to me, and I just said it. And I was like, this is dope. And I just, you know, that was it. Another song like with Mind, I didn't have a hook on Mind. However, but accidentally my hand hit the keyboard, and YouTube was on my thing, and John Henrik Clarke started speaking. I was like, oh, and I was like, put it there. It was an accident. You know what I'm saying? On like, let me give you another example. I had, so the Kingdom is a song. That's just intro, and then Kingdom comes on. I'm trying to remember the hook right now. It's literally slipping because I don't have it all memorized. Lock me in the cage. Huh? I am what I am. Pardon me?
I totally understand. Totally understand.
I am what I am I'm less than I am in your kingdom, but I am not afraid. That became in my head maybe a year before I recorded it, because I was at a gig and I got overlooked for a promotion, and it came across my screen. I am, you know, I'm less than I am in your kingdom. And I was like, pew. And it just resonated with the moment that I was experiencing. I never forgot it. And then when I got to record that went down first. Like, I'm less than I am in your kingdom, but I am not afraid. And then it just came. How we gonna build if, you know, it just came. This is what came to me. That's one of the first songs I recorded also, Kingdom. It was like Errol Eats Everything, and the Kingdom may have been the second or third song I recorded.
Dope. Okay, so and then you did another version of that song, and why?
Of Round and Round.
No, was it what was the other? Was it the what was the other one you had? What's the one that you have the DJ did a remix to? Which track?
Oh, so the one that Static selected it is Round and Round.
Round and Round. So okay, so what's another version?
So what happened with that is I have a business partner named Click, and I grew up with him. I've known him literally my whole life, and he's like, "Hey, I have a vision of remixes," because he doesn't believe that the initial album got enough traction. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and then I heard what he had to say, and like I said, I learned to get out of my way, and it made sense. I was like, okay. And then it led to a project that's about to come out in about a month called Staggerback, which is just a subset of songs from the album that are remixes, and it features like It's going to feature. It features Brother Ali, Rome Streets, Shay Noir, Raz Fresco, Clarence Joe from Battle of the Brutes, Blue, Planet Asia, and there's about 9 or so or 10 songs, and that's going to come out. And just because that was Click's real vision, and I just ran with it, and so that's why the Rome Streets thing came about. It was really Static did the remix, and then we were like, this needs somebody. And then he's the one who suggested Rome Streets, and he's the one who hooked that up for me. So I'm indebted to Static for that. That was like the dopest hookup ever. You know what I'm saying? And then Rome was so professional. He knocked that out so quick. Static, his work ethic is so insane that he did it real quick. And I was like, whoa. And what's crazy is when I saw him, he's like, you feeling it? You want me to do it again? You want me to do something else? And I couldn't believe that he was just like, what? I was like, what? But the truth is, I was like, nah, I don't need you to do something else. This is fire. You know what I'm saying? And then it just came together like that.
So the first version and that version, what was different?
Only Rome's verse, the beat and Rome's verse. That's one of the remixes where I didn't redo my verse. And then because it's a story, and then Rome added on his aspect of the story to it. And then the beat was fire that Static did. That's the only other producer I've ever used. I only used Furious Evans. And then Static will probably be the only other producer I've used.
Is that the guy that has the Pooh Shiesty mask?
Yeah, that's Furious Evans.
Okay.
He is the illest producer that exists. And this is about to be his year, trust me.
And does he have, I know it is a reason why he has the Shiesty mask, Do you know it?
Because we make fight music, man, and our substance,
Got you. Okay, you're right. Okay. So let me ask you this. I asked all artists this, because I think it's probably the most ingredient in the pot, but I just love to hear what other artists, want to say. So how important is networking, do you think?
I'm not good at it. I'm sure it's very important, but I'm not good at insincere conversation, man. And I'm not good at it, but this industry is based on networking. Subpar artists make it far because they're great networkers. I'm not. I didn't even have intention of showing my face. I didn't care about rubbing elbows. I was making music that I wanted to make. You know what I'm saying? And so to this day, you're one of the few interviews that I do. I just don't, I literally, I'm not interested in what most artists are interested in, but it is absolutely important if you want to expedite the process. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not interested. I'm not compromising myself. This process thus far, I haven't compromised myself, and it's resulted in a pretty good effort. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm tapped in and I feel it's a genuine connection with the person, it's great. I'm not good at forcing conversations, and I'm my own man to a point where I feel like I don't really need. I don't want people thinking I need something from them, like, so maybe it's my own insecurities or something. It's just how I'm built. I just try to be a sincere individual, man, and that doesn't necessarily jive with, hey, let's get up and visit. It takes. I've had friends my whole life, and I tend when I make friends, I tend to keep them forever. You know what I'm saying? I know what it takes to be a real friend. I'm not good on the fake friend thing, and I'm not good on just transactional relationships. You know what I'm saying? I try to be sincere.
I agree. So how did you? Okay, so when it came to when you linked up with when you went to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
How did you link up to that circle? Like, you had to do some type of networking, right?
Click hooked me up with a guy. He's like, when you go in there, speak to this person. And it was Cool DJ EQ. And he used to have Industry Records. And so I was really hanging out with EQ, and he took me around, showed me the city. And that same day, he pulled up to his record store in the back, and then Clarence Joe pulled up, and he was there with a box of CDs. So it was just like a real normal moment. And that's where he handed me a CD. But I was like, this dude is so arrogant. I can't believe how arrogant this dude is in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I took the CD. I was like, man, you better be nice. If you're not nice, I didn't say this to him in my head. I'm like, I'm about to call you. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And I put it in, and it was phenomenal. And that led me to be like, yo, let's get up. It was so inspirational what I heard. I was like, I need to speak to you. And then we got up and we clicked like boom. It was like we've been brothers ever since that day, literally. Like watching children born, uncles type of thing. And so it was a sincere connection.
And you know what's crazy? Moving to that next level is as easy as one person giving you an alley-oop.
Correct. And what's happening is I'm getting those alley-oops now without, and the beautiful thing is I didn't compromise myself to get those alley-oops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm having people believe in what I'm doing without me having to, where I'm just like, whoa, it's taking me aback. Like, what? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? It's a sincere, like, hey, they did what I'm doing. And so it's been like beautiful from that aspect, man. And the truth is that, like I said, I feel like a sucker dropping names, so I won't, but it's led to conversations that I've always wanted to have. And they're happening. Like I said, when I dropped the album and the most crazy scenario that you could imagine as an artist is, and this label and person is reaching out to me, and it, where it's like, she's like, that is insane. It was like one of the biggest artists in the world type things. And it's bananas, it's unbelievable and it's humbling. It's crazy, but it's happening and it's real. And just due to my approach, I'm finding that I'm not losing myself. Maybe I wouldn't have been able to handle it at another stage of my life, but it's right now, it's like, I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. Like, what took you so long? You know what I'm saying?
It's about timing. It's about timing. Everything's about timing, right? So right now that you're clicking, right? So, what's that next step? Is it to get a solid team? Because it's like you don't need a team.
I have a solid team.
Okay, so you already got a team.
Yeah, I have a person that I trust that runs my business aspect, because I don't. The one thing that I'm not good at is sustaining my composure with this music business, man. I totally disconnect from it so I can be creative, and kind of like Click handles that for me, and he does a lot of behind the scenes things and a lot of the coordinating and stuff like that. Furious and I just bang out beats. I have a life, I have a family, I have kids, and they're like my priority. And so I'm very centered in that, but the next step for us would probably be, we're working on that right now, where getting the things in alignment for the IP, because I feel like that's bigger than the hip hop aspect of that.
That's a fact.
It
is.
And so that's kind of like the next step in getting that into alignment and not losing focus on that. The music is natural to me, and Furious and Clarence Joe. It's just a natural aspect of what we do. However, there's a unforeseen circumstance that we got to deal with, and that's the IP of what has happened from this whole circumstance.
Yes, and you can also evolve by adding the music with that, so,
which is kind of what we're doing already. But that could take several steps up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just getting to the first step, then you can always add, but it's that first step that's the most difficult.
I feel like that is like, I'm not in it for money. I happen to be in a position where I'm okay. But I feel like that is the next step financially.
Absolutely. Value and information are very expensive.
Correct.
So even if we don't want it, somebody's going to get it. So why not like, because it is what it is. Like I was telling you, that baby, I'm telling you, is probably $1 billion by itself.
The merch, you should like the merch is beautiful, man. Like when it's on a shirt, people are just bugging. What is it? It leads to so many conversations. What is this? What like it leads to so many conversations, so many compliments. Very few people. I've only had one person that said, I almost feel like it didn't fit what I heard. And I don't care because it was really a conduit to you hearing what you heard. You know what I'm saying?
It's not for everyone.
Yeah. I had an interview with this dude, C-Doc, and he's like, it literally, I was just scrolling and I saw this thing. I was like, what is this? And it led to him coming through my page. And that's led to like a great relationship with those guys, like, you know, Spit Slam Records and stuff like that, like a great relationship with those guys. And it was just due to that image. So many people have told me that I have so much feedback that I know it's vetted and real feedback and I can proceed forward now. You know what I'm saying? That's
the fact. I definitely need that shirt in large.
It's coming to you. It's coming to you.
So let me know. Let me know so I can
give me that information when we're finished here, and I got you.
I'll give you my number. So you know we just talk about it that way. So okay. All right. So another song that I love, Creases. First of all, why did you name it Creases?
Because when I recorded it, the first thing that came to my mind was Black Thought said, "What my people in the crevice is struggling," and I was like, "Creases." I just called it that, and I felt like it represented the marginalized, and it was such a vibration. And I'm a big crypto head and stuff like that, and I had mentioned that in the song because I feel like that in essence could be Black reparations. I have a big kind of rant on that I won't get into, but
I might bring something up a little bit for that. So
okay, no problem. And so when I heard, like, it was just like I took a chance on my approach to that song and the way I executed it, and that particular song to me represents the marginalized so deeply in my vibration, like. It was for the people in the creases, you know, and so that's what it was. And then I'll tell you this also. Probably 8 out of 10 song titles are what they were sent to me as from Furious. So like Automatic Traumatic, that's the actual name of the beat that he sent me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't change it. I run with what's given to me. I get out of my way. So a lot of I look like a genius sometimes with certain aspects of things, and I'm just like, little do you know, that's what the beat was called. You know what I'm saying? It ran my inspiration, just ran with it.
Okay, because yes, I think Creases. I think exactly what you just said. Difficult spaces, like, you know, like the crevice, like, you know. So I definitely related to that. You know,
yeah, so. and I feel that is so real. Like they just, you know, emulate us and stuff like that, but they don't want to see it free us, really.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that and just resonated with me, man. That's one of my favorite songs.
That's a fact, because it's uncontrollable. That's a fact. That's a fact. Right. So they fear anything they can't control. So okay. So now the feature, like, you know, like, how did you?
I have a long relationship with Planet Asia. When I was in Toronto, I opened up for him when he first came out, and he's always remembered me. So he held me down.
Networking. See how important networking is?
It is absolutely important, but that was a sincere kind of connection. He shot a video in Brooklyn one time, and I used to, and then it was like, "What's up? I'm E, whatever, right? Oh yeah, okay, yeah." And then I don't know how it came out, and I used to be called Earl.com. That used to be my name way back. And then he's like, Earl.com? You remember that, you know, like in front of everybody, I'm like looking like kind of embarrassed. Like, yeah, man, what are you calling me with this little code name? Like, he's the realest dude you'll ever see. Like, he'll walk into a room, it's just like a normal conversation, normal dude. And he's like, what? Man, he's like, you were way ahead of your time with that name. Even when we shot the video for Creases, he's like, man, I tell people, You were way ahead of your time with that name or whatever. And he's sincere when he means it, you know? And that just came because that was supposed to be that. And I knew he was going to lose his mind. Like, you know, his bars are so furious with it. Like, his bars are crazy all the time. So I knew it would be a good match for that particular joint.
Dope song, dope video. I
really like that video. Mark 40 did his thing. Like, he's such a visionary, that dude. He kills everything he touches.
Dope, right? Okay. All right. If it's one thing, looking back when you first started doing hip hop, if it's one thing you can change, what would that be?
Look within. Stop. I was in a scenario where I was on a label that was doing a lot of street stuff. And even before that, I was trying to sound dope as that person. You know what I'm saying? And I would master myself early.
In your way.
In my way. Believe in my vibration.
Okay. So now, where you at now, in the space you at now, what haven't you done that you want to do?
Bleed my vibe on stage to everyone. I've done that before, but not with this current material. Like, the people I trust tell me, no, we can't waste your time doing shows right now. We have to build your audience. This is the new game. And so when Blame comes out, Blame Furious Evans is the second album. When that comes out, I can't wait to start doing shows to represent, because, you know, the other day I went to a show for the first time in forever, and I was just like, what kind of, you guys didn't improve since I dropped off the scene. This is the same thing that you're doing. Same dudes doing the same thing, you know, like I really, Furious is unbelievable live. His real name is Doc Ock, because he can do everything. And he does he'll go and touch every instrument. Clarence Joe is amazing live. And we have a synergy that's going to bring the house down. And I can't wait to do that.
Do you feel that real hip hop is back?
Yeah. I feel like when I dropped my album, I feel like there was a shift in the game. It went from this formulaic, typical major label kind of push of prepackaged music. And I feel like there was a shift, and I dropped shortly after everything started going back niche. And I felt that shift. I was like, whoa, something's happening right now. And I felt like I held off for 2 years, like I said. And then when I did come out, it was like perfect timing. So that helps me in my real belief that this is divine, because of the timing of how that happened. And it's even more niche now. And it was like 2025. There's a guy, Ultra Mag 7. He does some of my videos if you look through on my page. Cool, very good dude. And he was like, 2025 was like the launching pad of the new era. It's like the new golden era. That was the start of it. And it's only going to go off from here. 2026 is going to be a hell of a year for that. And so I think that the transition happened, and it's on this upward trajectory now.
So how can independent artists benefit from social media?
What's happening is that I feel like, so when I started hip hop, we didn't know what to do. We didn't have anybody with the knowledge of what to do. And I feel like it's the same thing that's happening right here. Everybody's doing the same thing, and everybody's stuck because they don't have the actual framework of how to execute. And this particular project has given me way more insight into the framework. Like, oh, so this is what has to happen, and this and this and this, right? I've made mistakes. I've done this. I've done that. But I've got traction because I kind of found, this is the answer to some of those issues that I was experiencing. And you know, so what has to happen is I feel like I'm going to provide insight to the artists. Like, our whole thing is uplifting upperly mobile Black folks and uplifting the mind and giving them the path. And I feel like I have the path to I feel like I have the path to sustain a push for independent artists that is necessary over a period of time, because the real issue is a money constraint for most people, right? And I feel like I have a formula that I can tell folks, and AI is coming, jobs are going to be lost, this and that. You got to set yourself up, because it's not there is nobody's coming to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the path is, I feel like I'm going to offer that path for people here shortly. That's part of what's coming. But I can only do certain things effectively at one at a time. I can't spread myself thin, and that's something I've learned in the past too. I have a whole path coming, and Arrow Eats Everything is going to be a platform. It's not just going to be myself.
So,
I could do it for myself, but that's not what I'm about. And I feel like I'm building a platform, and what happened is, if I could use other people, I would have done that already. I would have been the West Side Gun of my label already. But what's happening is people are not dependable.
that's fine.
And I can tell you more so than anybody else because of my entrepreneurial endeavors. I will tell you how flaky people are. You can't tell me anything in regard to that. That's what I feel like.
Fine.
And so what happened is, it's like, okay, well, there isn't anybody who has the right mindset and understanding the big picture to the extent, because I don't have anything to prove it. Like, people believe you when you pull up in a Mercedes Benz. Oh, he knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I have to, and I have to do it to show them, and then I'm going to put people onto the platform for everything, and show them the path, and show them what I'm going to do, and use, and really what I'm going to do is, I have a goal of being a Rockets of this era and sustaining it, though, because there's business got in the way and stop that movement because of kind of like, and I feel like that's what I'm about to do, because I have so many talented people around me, but I can't do anything for them until I blaze this trail first.
Dope. You definitely are a superstar. Definitely a superstar.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
It's like you got so much music that I listen to that I like. Like, I just had to pick a couple to talk about, but I could have talked about 10 to 15. Like, you got so, like, your catalog is so good, right? It's so good. So you are definitely, you have all the pieces to take it to that next level.
Hip hop, you hear what he's saying? Listen to your man 80 right here.
I'm telling you, like the logo, the band, I'm just telling you, like what you got, you got different pieces. If you just separate it, it
all came from my gut, man. Just following my gut. That's it.
Doing that.
Getting out of my way.
Keep doing that, right? So okay, so we got like maybe a minute. So when can we expect that movement, that project? What you got going on?
The remix project will probably be out within a month or shortly after, in and around. It's called Staggerback. Staggerback is a Jamaican candy. I had an EP that came out first that was called Nyam. If you're a Yardie or a Jamaican, that's like eat. Let's Nyam some food, right? Arrow Eats Everything. I had a self-titled album based off of that EP called Arrow Eats Everything. And then the remix project it was a subset of those songs that are remixed with features, and that's called Staggerback. That's a Jamaican candy of ground coconut, molasses, ginger. It's just, and they call it a Buster candy. And I don't know why I called it that. It came to my mind. I was like, okay. And I ran with it, and that's what it is. But the second project, we're going to do 4 projects. So Arrow Eats Everything is number 1, and the second album is called Blame Furious Evans, and that's going to be 3rd quarter or early 4th quarter. And I'm going to be honest with you, for myself, I think it crushes the first album.
That's what
I'm really looking forward to that coming out, but I'm not looking past Staggerback, and that's what we're dealing with right now. But Blame Furious Evans is the project that all of this is setting up for.
Dope. I really appreciate you, entertaining what I got going on, just coming through, chopping it up. I really appreciate it. anytime, whatever you need to promote, just let me know. I can always get you in. You know,
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. This is wonderful, man.
We're gonna do it again. So whatever you need from me, just let me know. It's done. I'm gonna give you my number so we can chop it up. You know.
Yeah, I got some merch for you.
But I appreciate you, man. I will be promoting everything you got going on here in the DMV. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And it means so much here in DC. You know, your substance, like, it just works.
Chocolate City.
Absolutely, right? So appreciate you. We're gonna do this again. So thank you, sir. And thank you to the good Trump and Rip Radio for having us. We're gonna do this again next week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Slim. What's good, Joe? We from the home of everything original. Go-Go, Mumble Sauce, Marvin Gaye, Martin Lawrence, Roger E. Hens, Dave Chappelle, Samuel L. Jack, Genuine, Maya, Anne-Marie, Kevin Durant, Tommy Davis, DJ Kool, Wale, my #1 of all time black.
See, I'ma keep it real, with my weapon on me concealed. I'm Ralphion, that nigga from up the hill, used to come through crushing in the butters. A tray deuce in my boot with a fresh box cutter. 10th place, I belong to them. Mikey Wayne funkin' them. Never was no bullies, but you don't wanna run with them. Better finances, big money advances. Daddy-daughter dances, no penitentiary chances. A made man, keep them guessing. Motherfuckers wanted steam, so I had to press them. Just so you know, I bring the chalk when I teach a lesson. When I was preaching at your door, but you ain't want the lecture. Cause y'all measure. After I put on my city, I'm done. At 15, my nigga Wayne let me bust off a gun. I ain't gon' fake, I felt the rush when I made them go run. If you grew up like I did, then you feeling me young. What you say? Southern Ave, Willow Road, while the place Livingston. Third World, South Cap to Eastover. Please tell them we good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. 10th place, Oak Park, Malcolm X, Rivertown, Temple Hill, Suitland, and Landover. Please tell them we good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. I used to take the P12 from Eastover, the one going to Addison Road. Get off at Iverson Mall to try to get me a girl to get some pussy, nigga. That was the goal. From Benny Road in Minnesota. Oh, I salute you, soldier. They gave us pennies and poverty with the cold shoulder. But it ain't never over, cause we some real rollers. They tried to take us out the game with cane and baking soda. Only fear God. Hey, let me hit the bar. It's 2 Panda Bears, nigga, on my Fed card. DC ain't spare the rod. That's why I go hard. Good Hope, Berry Farms, nigga, the Navy Yard. Now you could come to the city and get a greeting, or you could start faking and fronting and catch a beating. Don't wanna go berserk, so don't give us a reason. You better take that Bama bullshit back out the Wheaton. You geek. Rockville, Crystal City, Kenilworth, Georgia Ave, Vale City, U Street to Saratoga. Please tell them we good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. What you say? We good. Largo, Forestville, Cap Heights, Fairfax, North Cap, Adams, Morgan, and Anacostia. Tell them we good. What you say? We good.